Time travel. Who knew our history had so many missing pages? Here we go. In the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert, not far from the shores of the Atlantic Ocean, there is an ancient land formation known as the Richat Structure, a geological wonder that is as beautiful as it is mysterious. Its striking concentric rings, visible even from space, have earned it the name the Eye of the Sahara. Some speculate it could be the remains of the legendary Lost City of Atlantis. The Greek philosopher Plato described it as an advanced and powerful civilization existing more than 10,000 years ago. Through their imperial conquest, they dominated much of the ancient world, but their oppression sowed seeds of resentment within their empire and beyond. Over time, the rulers of Atlantis fell into corruption, and as punishment, the gods caused their island nation to sink beneath the waves. The story of Atlantis has captured people's imaginations for thousands of years, and the quest to find its location continues to this day. Could the Richat Structure reveal the true history of the Atlantean Empire? As part of a team with the unique ability to shift our perceptions through space and time, we traverse the pages of history to chronicle the unknown stories of the past. I was sent to investigate the anomalous nature of the Richat Structure, unearth its mysterious origins, and determine if it truly is the final resting place of Atlantis. There's always a bit of apprehension before I start these journeys, but that quickly fades when I jump in, so here we go. The environment shifts rapidly into focus. I touch down on the terrain below. Immediately, I'm confronted by an expansive seaway. It cuts west across the landscape and out to a vast ocean beyond. Flanking it on either side, I see garrisons, buildings standing imposingly over the chasm. Wind fills the sails of a vast fleet spread out across the water. I pause to take in the sensations, allowing the sun's warmth and the calming breeze to envelop me. It creates a moment of pure tranquility and connection with my surroundings. A cool wave washes across my feet. I shift my gaze from the horizon to the soft white sand, feeling the grains shift beneath my toes. As the water recedes, I'm haunted by the memory. The future holds a desolate fate for this vibrant land. I feel the sudden chill of a shadow overhead. Turning around, I look up, searching for the cloud that darkened the sun. The land rises before me. An enormous wall gracefully curves along a vast perimeter. The structure looks skillfully crafted from enormous blocks of white stone. Their brilliance reflecting the sun's rays create a dazzling glare. A colossal doorway, the height of several stories, stands guarded at the base of the wall. Who or what could have inspired such an epic scale of construction? With renewed purpose, I make my way to the door, intent on exploring the wonders beyond its threshold. Atop the wall, I'm greeted by a breathtaking sight. A vast city stretches out before me. Glancing to my side, I notice that this location is well fortified. Reinforced watchtowers and a legion of guards. They all contribute to the sense of security.
Yet, I notice something off about the guards' appearance. Their eyes. They seem glassy and distant. What's wrong with them?
It's as if they're spellbound, captured by an unseen power.
I feel relieved, knowing that my means of travel renders me invisible to their sight, allowing me to move about unnoticed.
One of the sentinels steps down from his post, an object resembling a spyglass clutched in his hand.
The air vibrates with the intensity of a heated debate.
His body language, it seems to suggest that he's deeply disturbed by something. Despite my growing unease, I can't help but be awed by the city's sheer scale and beauty. As I venture further, I become enveloped by towering marble structures. The streets teem with individuals tending to their daily tasks, and I soon realize I've encountered the core of the city's residential district. I wander down a wide avenue. It opens up into a large courtyard, featuring extensive gardens and orchards, spreading in all directions. Each corner is decorated with magnificent sculptures. One in particular catches my eye, portraying an unfamiliar sea creature.
While pondering the significance of this unusual statue, I stop for a while at the edge of a fountain. My attention is drawn to a group of nearby birds.
A large black crow with unique red symbols catches my eye. As if on cue, it tilts its head in my direction, with a gaze that feels unusually perceptive for a creature of its kind. Almost like it knows I'm here. It suddenly takes flight, soaring off into the distance. I decide to follow its lead and continue on with my journey. I immerse myself further in the city's enchanting blend of nature and architecture. White stone walls capture and reflect sunlight, enhancing the natural warmth of the city's buildings. An extensive network of aqueducts channel rainwater throughout the gardens. Pressing forward, the streets lead up to a wide expanse of water. Vessels of various shapes and sizes move smoothly along its surface. The waterway is strikingly clear, reflecting the blue sky above. Schools of vibrant fish swim beneath the waves. In the distance, a ship sails towards another towering wall. Massive archways host a curtain of waterfalls, hiding the expanse beyond. Beside me, I notice a humble gathering of people standing near the water's edge. Suddenly, the collective gaze shifts upwards, tracking something in the sky. To my surprise, an unusual flying craft is descending to our position.
Fascinated by this enchanting transport, I wonder how it operates and where it goes. I decide to find out by boarding the next available platform.
Yet, an intuitive whisper suggests that not everything is as it seems. Arriving at my destination, I find myself enveloped in a lively commerce district, pulsing with a symphony of sounds and radiant energy.
The area seems to be divided into several distinct zones, each dedicated to a specific category of merchandise.
The merchants here display what appear to be the finest products from all corners of the world. The metallic clang of a hammer reverberates from a nearby foundry, while the hum of machinery drifts over from the workshops further away. Throughout the bustling streets, I sense an undercurrent of conflict and exploitation, though its source remains elusive. My attention is drawn to a vibrant stall displaying exquisite fresh produce. The merchant, a woman with striking features, engages her customers with assertive charm.
I pause and listen closely.
I suddenly realize that their interaction is taking place without any spoken words.
It hits me. Telepathic communication is the norm in this city. How did I not notice this earlier?
Another group approaches, engaging the merchant in lively conversation. Apparently, not everyone here possesses nonverbal communication. Yet, as I continue to watch, I sense the merchant reading the minds of her guests, exploiting their insecurities to sell more of her wares.
This unsettling display leaves me questioning the morals of such a power. It casts a shadow over the city's seemingly harmonious atmosphere.
Out of nowhere, a distinctive call draws my attention, up to a wire stretched across the street.
Could this be the same creature I encountered earlier?
As I stare at the crow, I get a strange feeling that we share a common purpose that goes beyond mere curiosity.
I decide to follow this unlikely guide further into the heart of the city. In my pursuit, I come across a familiar-looking waterway.
A levitating platform, considerably more luxurious than the one I arrived on, idles overhead.
Suddenly, a voice interrupts my thoughts.
Greetings. Would you like to ascend? A well-dressed man invites those around me to board the magnificent vessel.
I get the sense that there are people who long to board this platform, but never receive the invitation. Could this be what makes it exclusive? Are only those who can hear the telepathic call welcome aboard?
I catch faint telepathic echoes, all hinting at a voyage to the heart of the city. In my peripheral vision, I catch a glimpse of the familiar blackbird, gracefully soaring upwards and out of sight.
Without a second thought, I board the next platform, bound for the center of this sprawling metropolis. The platform glides effortlessly across the crystal clear water. I turn around and look back towards the outskirts of the city.
Stepped layers of land curve behind me, each ring spanning at least 20 city blocks, maybe more.
I feel the levitating platform begin to slow. With a gentle lurch, we come to a halt, docking seamlessly into an alcove.
My attention is immediately captivated by the magnificent tower that stands before me, stretching to touch the sky itself. Fashioned from a gleaming white stone, it reflects an iridescent sheen under the sun's rays. As I explore the island, I'm mesmerized by the buildings that rise majestically around me. Seeking a better perspective, I enter one of the nearby structures and navigate to the rooftop lookout. From my elevated vantage point, I take in the cityscape. It unfurls into 3 unique pie-shaped districts. The first district is dominated by a vast complex, connected by paths and courtyards. It reminds me of City Hall. Abuzz with activity, people rush in and out of the buildings, their faces reflecting a sense of urgency. A legion of guards is stationed around the complex, alert and watchful, hinting at a heightened state of security. Shifting my attention to the next district, I discover an area that appears to be dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. Curved structures feature large glass windows, revealing a vast collection of literature. However, as I move into the newly developed areas, I can't help but notice the evident disarray. This seems to imply an approach of hasty experimentation and rapid progress at any cost.
It leaves me pondering the consequences of such a change, and how it may have contributed to the sense of unease that I've encountered. As I venture into the third district, I immediately sense that it's dedicated to spiritual pursuits. The architecture here is distinctly different, featuring ornate temples with intricate carvings and statues depicting figures of the divine feminine. Numerous meditation gardens and serene spaces for quiet reflection are scattered throughout the district. Yet, despite the sacred nature of this area, this one too is in a state of neglect and decay. Crumbling statues and cracked walkways speak of a time when this district was a thriving center for spiritual growth, now reduced to a mere shadow of its former self. It leaves me feeling a mixture of sadness and concern. What could have led to the erosion of this city's most vital areas? I come across a mesmerizing temple. A magnetic energy seems to radiate from the building. I move to the entrance and push open the heavy doors. As I step inside, the air resonates with a promise that greater understanding is within reach. A lone figure waits at the end of the hall. His appearance reminds me of a veteran sea captain, weathered by time and elements. While standing in the dimly lit corridor, something unexpectedly dives above my head. A black crow lands near the guard's feet, cawing insistently to draw his attention. The guard looks down and, recognizing the bird's purpose, offers his arm as a perch. He carefully examines the creature and retrieves a worn parchment from its pouch. As he unfolds the paper, I can see that it contains a message written in a delicate script. After reading the note, his eyes wander off, as if lost in memories long past. I search the guard's face, seeking clues in his reaction. Abruptly, the guard turns his head and looks directly at me. He can see me. My apologies, I mean no harm or disrespect. I'm a traveler, seeking to learn more about this magnificent city. For a moment, he seems to hesitate, then shakes his head and knowingly replies, "Beyond these doors lies a grand temple. Proceed with reverence, and they may choose to reveal their timeless secrets." I nod gratefully and move past the guard towards the imposing temple doors. His voice echoes behind me, "You're not the first of your kind to pass this way." The room is immense. Vaulted ceilings stretch up into the darkness above, mirrored by a swirling abyss below. A large radiant gemstone hovers in the middle of the grand hall. Could this be the source of the mysterious energy that I've been feeling? Overwhelmed by fascination, I extend my hand. Upon contact, a chilling sensation engulfs me, as though the gem is siphoning heat from the surrounding environment. In an instant, mist rises from the chasm, swirling and enveloping everything around me. As the fog lifts, I see endless water. Distant storm clouds harbor a shimmering light. They sparkle with the radiance of the mysterious crystal that brought me here. I catch a glimpse of unclear silhouettes in the distance. Attempting to focus my gaze, the form evades my sight, dancing just beyond the edge of my perception. I call out into the great beyond, "Who are you?" An ethereal voice echoes back, "You seek knowledge of our great city. Demonstrate your wisdom. In an empire where nothing is as it seems. A masterpiece woven from the fabric of dreams.
its rise and fall a complex tie. The city's major flaw is key to the lie.
Well, that certainly wasn't the reply I expected. Thoughtful silence fills the space between us as I reflect upon my experience thus far.
I've observed the harmony and equilibrium between the city and its natural environment. However, signs of decay and corruption hide just below the surface, not entirely masked by the city's shimmering waterfalls and the graceful marble edifices.
As I mull it over, the answer gradually crystallizes in my mind. With a hint of apprehension, fearing my conclusions may be too direct, I propose, despite its beauty, the city stands as a bittersweet monument. Its apparent purpose is to embody a lofty ideal, but one that becomes unattainable in light of human fallibility.
Suddenly, the clouds give way to a celestial spiral. A voice echoes back. In the expansive chronicles of Earth's history, a moment of extraordinary importance emerged. A child's heart opened like a delicate flower, reaching for the sun. This glimmer of cosmic consciousness caught the attention of civilizations, resonating with its call. Heeding this invitation, we approached and gave form to this magnificent city. At its heart, we placed a crystal, the energetic core, forged from the essence of stars. Through whispers in their dreams, inhabitants were called to dwell within our harmonious creation. To avoid being worshipped as gods, we ascended to our galactic abode, observing our adopted children from afar. Through time.
The voice falls silent, and a profound stillness blankets the atmosphere. The enigmatic figures seem to have withdrawn into their own musings, leaving a reflective silence in their absence. I too find myself immersed in deep contemplation, the gravity of their words weighing on me.
My mind drifts back to the present time, to the desolate ruins that have replaced this once magnificent metropolis. I remember the stark landscape, devoid of the love and wisdom that these celestial beings so passionately described. Incredulous, I can't help but ask, how did everything go so wrong? Your hope-filled ideals have turned into a hollow promise. Why initiate such a vast project only to let it turn to dust?
Our plans indeed fell short of our vision. We feel profound regret and accountability for what happened. We've done our utmost to make amends. But the seeds of ruin were sown at the Empire's birth, making its destruction inevitable. We urge you to return to where your journey began and look beyond the walls. The answers you seek await you there.
Is this truly the fabled city of Atlantis? Perhaps a look beyond the wall will lead to greater understanding. In a flash of light, I'm back in front of the temple doors. The guard seems to have abandoned his post. How much time has passed here? Casting a glance to the side, I spot the all-too-familiar crow, grooming its wings. Its continued presence catches me by surprise. Had it patiently waited for me? For a brief moment, its eyes glimmer with an understanding that seems almost
human. The word traveler
delicately cascades through my mind, as if whispered by an unseen presence.
With a flutter of air and feathers, the magnificent blackbird takes flight, circling once before soaring off into the fading light of day.
Thanks for watching to the end and joining us on this new journey. If you'd like to help us bring more of these exciting stories to life, check out the support links below or share the video. It really does help. The story continues in part 2. See you then.